Hello, my name is Dustin Rudabush, and I'll be doing my presentation on jet fuel emissions. All right, jet fuel emissions. What is happening? Jet fuel releases chemicals like CO2 into the atmosphere while flying and causes global warming because of the CO2 and other chemical buildup. Who's benefiting? Almost everyone benefits from the use of jets. They are great for shipping, defense, and most importantly, transportation. For example, I just ordered a fishing rod, and it came from across the country, so I'm guessing a jet shipped that across the country for me, and it came very quickly. What are the effects now and in the future? Jets emit lots of CO2, which doesn't seem too bad now, but in the future, the buildup will drastically heat up our Earth's atmosphere, leading to major global warming. Are certain parts of the world affected more? Since jets are used all over the world, it has very vast areas that can be affected, but you can see high CO2 emissions in China and large cities in America. Future alternatives. Scientists and researchers have been looking for an alternative source of fuel and have created a greener version of today's jet fuel, but it is much more expensive and harder to manufacture. Who's helping? The global aviation industry is trying to achieve net zero emissions by 2050, and Airline Association IATA says using sustainable fuels and carbon offsetting will contribute more than 80% of the reduction in emissions. That's who's helping. So who's hurting? Basically anyone that buys online or travels is involved with the emission of CO2 and usage of jets. But don't feel too bad, because this is unavoidable and we just need to figure out how to make the jets more environmentally friendly. Okay, my first science concept is how does CO2 cause global warming? So the sun sets heat energies to Earth, and CO2 can trap that heat in our solar system. So it basically forms a border around our ozone and traps the heat inside our atmosphere, and slowly will heat up our Earth. Okay, for the science concept number 2, we're doing stoichiometry. So for the jet fuel, they use hydrocarbons, and for mine, I'm using octane. And then that's added with oxygen. So when the jet's flying, it has turbos that suck in oxygen that combines with the jet fuel. And those both emit water and CO2. So for the first, that's octane. So to balance it, it's the red ones are the balancements. So 2 octanes, 25 oxygens, 16 CO2s, and 18 H2Os, and that's how you balance it. So on this half, on the left side of the equation, you get 16 carbons, 36 hydrogens, and 50 oxygens. And on the same side, looking at the math, you get 16 carbons, 36 hydrogens, and 50 oxygens. So as you can see, it's balanced because of stoichiometry.